Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's licensing subcommittee. First item on the agenda is appointment of the chair. Is there a proposer for chairman?
Yes, I'd like to propose Councillor Beryl, please.
Thank you, Councillor Davenport. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor York. Councillor Beryl, you've been duly appointed chair of this subcommittee. Over to you.
Thank you, councillors. I am Councillor Beryl, Keithforth North. Introductions to the subcommittee, please.
Councillor Julie Davenport of Delapre and Bra Hill, and Far Cotton Ward.
Councillor Peter York, Ward Councillor for Malton, also Deputy Chair of West Northants Council.
Thank you, Peter. Clerk and Legal Advisor.
Ed Bostock, Democratic Services Officer.
And Licensing Authority staff.
Yeah, Michael Sands, one of the licensing team leaders.
And applicants and objectors. Can you introduce yourself, please, applicant?
My name is Candy Lewis.
Thank you very much. And have all parties received a copy of the agenda for today's hearing?
Yes.
Yep.
Councillor Davenport?
Oh, yes, sorry. I was nodding, expecting everyone to say.
That's okay. Are there any preliminary issues anyone wishes to raise off the agenda?
No.
In that case, I'd like to, in respect of the amendment application for the premise license, I'd like to invite the licensing officer to introduce the report, please.
Thank you, Chair. So this report is to consider a Licensing Act 2003 application for a new premises licence in respect of Billing Garden Village, which is situated at Unit 2H, Glenn's Yard in Northampton. And the subcommittee will be asked to determine the application for the premises licence in accordance with Section 18 of the Licensing Act. So the Licensing Department received on the 4th of September this year an application for a premises licence, which is submitted by Miss Candy Lewis, and we accepted the application as complete. The application seeks the sale of alcohol only on and off the premises with the following times, which is Monday to Sunday from 10 in the morning until 2300 hours in the evening, with opening hours to match. The full application is Appendix A in this report pack. The applicant has also applied to be the designated premises supervisor, which is known as the DPS, and she holds a valid personal licence, which was issued by this council recently. The proposed premises does sit within the Billing Garden Village, which also has a number of other premises nearby. The consultation for a new premises application follows the standard 28 days period, which is when it's advertised in the newspaper and site notices go up to allow members of the public or any interested parties to comment on the application. In this case, the 28 days lapsed. We had no representations received from the responsible authorities. However, we did receive a number of objections from the public, which are attached as Appendix B in this report pack. Both the applicant and the interested parties who submitted representations were invited to attend today, but obviously none have chosen to do so other than the applicant. So based on that, because of the representations received, obviously we were duty bound to bring it to the subcommittee for decision, and the options open to the committee are outlined in 5.0 of this report, which are obviously to grant the licence subject to any conditions as appropriate to meet the promotion of the licensing objectives, to exclude a licensable activity, to refuse to specify a person as the DPS, or alternative to reject the application. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. So we are now going to hear the representation from each of the parties. All parties will have the opportunity to make the representation later in this hearing. At the end of each presentation, you'll get an opportunity to ask questions. Please keep the questions only on what you have just heard. I'd like to invite the objectors to make the representation, but I believe there are none. Is that correct, Ed?
That's correct, Councillor Beryl. Sorry.
So in that case, are there any questions from the licensing officers?
No, thank you, Chair.
Any questions from the applicant?
No questions, but I do have just a brief letter I'd like to read when it's my opportunity to speak.
Okay.
Could I, Chair? Chair, sorry.
Yes.
Could I ask a question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yep, sorry, I've been out of order.
So Councillor York, sorry,
Yes.
your section is next. So questions from the subcommittee. So just hold fire, just 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So any questions from the applicant? I think now would be the correct time for the applicant to have their say. Is that correct, Ed?
If the subcommittee have any questions of the officer on the report first, and then the applicant can give her statement.
Okay, lovely. So in that case, are there any questions from the subcommittee, Councillor York?
Yes. The licenses for alcohol. Is there a separate room to serve the alcohol within these premises?
Yes, it's a separate entity completely from the tattooing section.
So will the person sitting having alcohol be seeing somebody tattooing?
Sorry, Council, this was questions to the licensing officer. The applicant hasn't made their presentation yet.
Sorry, James, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I've not had a good day so far, so I'm not doing any better.
Oh, sorry.
So in that case, I'd like to invite the premises license applicant to make the representation.
Thank you very much. I just have one document from myself, and then a very important document. I've received a lot of supporting documents from my neighbours, but the one in particular is from my property manager, which is the most important one. So if I could please get permission from council to read, I'd like to read my statement separately to his, but they're both imperative to my application. Could I get permission to read these two? It'll take 2 minutes.
This is your opportunity to make representation, so I don't see any reason why not to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Could I begin?
Please.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I would like to give a bit of history to put perspective on my business as well as me as a person. I spent 7 years serving my country in the South African Police Force. Since then, I've spent the last 20 years studying criminal law and psychology, as well as building my business. I'm not just a tattoo artist. I'm a public figure in my country, a motivational speaker on topics such as addiction, self-harm, sexual abuse, and bullying. I'm also a certified master life coach and a licensed private investigator with an A-grade qualification in security. I was also featured as an international artist in Women's Inc. New York magazine. I've won multiple awards in my industry. I also have a 5-star rating on Google and Facebook, where over 100 recommendations stress my professionalism and welcoming mannerism. I arrived in the UK 24 months ago with 4 bags and my 5-year-old daughter, with hardly a penny to my name, to be close to my mom, who's a British citizen. I rented a tiny room in a barber in Goldings and worked tirelessly to resurrect the beautiful business I left in South Africa, as long as my 21-year-old daughter, as well as. After 8 months, I finally managed to open my shop at Garden Village. I spent another year working and saving to be able to open my now bigger shop front and open my bar. I have invested everything I have in furnishing, decorating, and preparing my new beautiful space. I've received nothing but praise and support from my neighbours, as they have shown with gifts and letters of support, which I can provide counsel with. My neighbours at the manor have even registered my establishments in the Northampton Darts, as you may know, is a driven initiative. As expressed in the letters, you will find that most of my neighbouring shops at Village feel that it's of great value to the centre, as well as increasing the footfall, which we also desperately need since the closure of the garden centre due to the floods in November 2024. My property manager has gone as far as gifting me with my bar counter. I'm extremely educated with regards to my industry and 100 comply with risks of cross-contamination. I work in my own space away from the bar and work strictly on bookings, and I do not work after hours. In fact, my tattoo hours will barely overlap my bar hours, as the bar will be open predominantly after hours. There's also a separate entrance for my tattoo clients where they can happily move over to the lounge section post their tattoo. I'm the only artist in my shop, which makes it an extremely controlled environment. I invested in the required licensing for my barman so that he is fully compliant in the trade of alcohol. I've specifically crafted an entire mocktail menu, virgin cocktails, for my clients who do wish to have a drink while they get their tattoo. I've read that. There will be zero tolerance for any alcohol or narcotics being taken prior to my clients' tattoos. As you know, alcohol impairs a person's judgment as well as thins the blood, but it's also imperative for the council to know that due to the thinning of the blood, the quality of my work is more than halved in value, and that alone is a tarnish of my name, which I simply won't allow. I'd like to mention that there are also 2 bars or restaurants within Garden Village who sell alcohol, one of which hold bike meetings on a Wednesday evening, which welcomes over 50 bikes at a time. We as a village maintain the 4 licensing objectives. I've brought my community together in my village, not because I'm the best artist, but because I have proven to my neighbors, landlords, and clients that I'm a professional, understanding, and that my door is open to anyone, whether they are clients or not. I intend to continue to serve my Northampton community as I did my old community back in South Africa. I will maintain the promotion of the licensing objectives within my business to serve and protect my community and clients. Okay, so that is my personal, just kind of a character down of who I come from. And then very importantly, I'd just like to read a quick referral from my property manager and facilities manager, Mr. John Coburn. He represents all the landlords of AJ McInnes property. And he states, to whom it may concern, I'm writing to offer my full support and endorsement for Candy McLaren in her venture to open and run her new tattoo studio and bar selling alcoholic beverages at Glenange Yard. Having known Candy for nearly 2 years, I can confidently say that she is a professional, responsible, and community-minded person who is deeply committed to creating a safe, welcoming, and positive environment at her studio. I met Candy 18 months ago when she applied for a unit I manage at Billing Garden Village. Starting a business from scratch in a new country did not faze Candy, and I was immediately impressed with her skill, ambition, and enthusiasm. As promised, Candy rapidly established herself as a leading tattooist in the region and has benefited the Billing Garden Village by bringing new customers to the complex. I've held several meetings with Candy about how she could further expand her business. The concept of a larger area incorporating a bar has been discussed since the beginning of the year, and something the management team at Billing Village agreed we would sponsor. Many businesses at Billing Garden Village have struggled due to the lower complex being destroyed in November 24 floods. And we have had site meetings encouraging all businesses to think outside the box and diversify. Candy has done exactly that, and I think she should be commended and supported. While I understand there may have been some initial concerns and unfounded objections regarding the opening of this establishment, I believe Candy has taken every reasonable step to address these constructively, and the vast majority of businesses on site support her. I'm confident that her establishment will become an asset to Billing Garden Village, offering a professionally run venue that adds the area's vibrancy without compromising its integrity or peace. I wholeheartedly support this venture and believe Candy deserves the opportunity to demonstrate the value they can bring to the site. Please feel free to call me to discuss further, John Coburn.
Thank you very much. So we'll just move on to questions. Are there any questions from the licensing officer?
No, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Questions from the objectors? Any in writing, Democratic Services? No questions in writing. Are there any questions from the subcommittee, fellow councillors?
Yes. Yes. Can I go forward?
Please.
I know that Councillor York has also said he wanted to speak. Candy, you are obviously a very impressive and talented lady, and the license, you know, if it was just about you as a person, then obviously we would go by those references. It's my problem, I suppose, is the alcohol, because I know that when I have a drink, I can only have a teeny weeny bit, and you know, I'm not quite with it. But then other people have a much higher tolerance of drink. And I'm wondering how, you know, I know they won't be allowed to have, say, a cocktail beforehand,
Absolutely.
but you don't know what they've had elsewhere beforehand.
You see, that's where the waiver comes in, councillor. They have to sign a waiver stating that they have not taken narcotics or alcohol. I can't control what they drink outside of my facility, but I can control what they drink in my facility. I have a designated premises supervisor, which I invested in for my barman. My tattoo hours barely overlap the bar hours because I work on strictly till 4 o'clock. And I work strictly on bookings. So that is communicated between me and my barman. He knows exactly who's coming in, and they are only allowed alcohol-free drinks until post their tattoo. So I'm the only artist, so it's an extremely controlled environment.
Yes, that was my biggest problem, as I say, because you can't tell, you know, because I could just imagine, I'm sure you won't allow this, but a group of stags, you know, that's how I think of some tattoo artists, well, especially in Benidorm, I've seen it. And that would be my concern, that people are being, you know, coerced with a drink and... But like you say, you can only control what's going on in your business.
Yes, I control if someone's had, look, if I smell alcohol or if I see pupils dilated, or they would be excluded from their appointment that specific day and would have to rebook. It's an absolute demand. And like I say, the thinning of the blood, not only does it impair judgment and it thins blood, but it decreases the quality of the ink from a true black to a true grey, which means in 10 years' time, when I still plan to be a tattoo artist, my work is going to look really bad if my clients are consuming alcohol. It's never ever an acceptable thing for a client to consume alcohol. It's, you know, besides the implications on the body and the whatever, it's my work. My work speaks for itself, and I will lose my clients if my work does not speak. So my priority, I'm first and foremost the tattoo artist. As I said, I'm the only artist on site. It's very, very controlled. I'm extremely strict. As I said, I have an A-grade security, which is the highest form of security in South Africa. I've only been on the right side of the law, and I don't ever intend to break that. I run a professional business. My landlords are in and out of my shop on a daily basis, so I have to maintain a professional image. And under no circumstances will any of my patrons be able to be clients if they've had a sip of alcohol. So it is extremely controlled.
Yes, so you will always be there. Well, I hear what you're saying. So yes, you have no intention of employing anyone else. And what hours are those? Because is it open 7 days a week?
No, it's not open 7 days a week. So I'm closed on Mondays and Sundays. From Tuesday to Thursday, I'm only operating till 9 p.m., not 11 p.m. as specified in the documents. Only on a Friday and a Saturday will I be open till 11. So Mondays will be closed, Sundays will be closed. I don't tattoo on those days. And like I say, I don't work past 4 o'clock, which is mainly when the bar section will be opened. And I have designed a specific mocktail menu, virgin cocktails, for my clients who would like a refreshment, a spicy kind of way. My environment is extremely service based. It's table service. It's decent sized drinks. It's just It's a high quality establishment, which will, and most of my clientele are my neighbors, the shop owners, and my regular tattoo clients. And usually, you know, me being an older tattoo artist, I'm 46, my client base is the much older generation and the regular generation, and they're all middle to upper class members of society. So it's there's no riffraff. It's a high how could I say,
High end.
it's a very high end bar. It's not on a main road. It's in a little cul-de-sac. Every neighbor in the cul-de-sac is 100% behind me. They've all written supporting documents on my professionalism, my consistency, my treatment of my staff. Even I counsel children of my clients that I tattoo. So I'm extremely community driven. And that would mean that the 4 licensing objectives would be my absolute priority. So yeah, that's basically the just to get the understanding. And like I say, my tattoo hours will hardly ever overlap the bar hours because I work such strict tattoo hours. And as mentioned before, I'm the only artist. I'm extremely strict. So I'm even strict with my clients' tattoos, never mind their consumption of anything before they come to me. Line is I run a professional, very strict establishment.
Thank you.
Anything else, Councillor Davenport?
Not at the moment, thank you. Unless
Thank you. Councillor York?
Yes, a very thorough statement. Can I ask, the Billing Garden Centre, that closes at a certain time in the evening, does it not?
It doesn't. The butcher stays until about 9:15 every night to prepare for the following day. So myself and the butcher would be leaving at the same time. We all have our own codes for the main security gate. So whoever's out last locks that security gate. The whole
So
of Billing.
you don't need a license till 11 o'clock then?
Well, the license in my initial application, you'll actually see I applied from I just added Monday. From Monday to Thursday, operating hours will be from 10 till 9, but realistically operating hours will be from about 2 till 9. And then only Friday, I'm a single mom. I can't be here all the time. So I do have a designated premises supervisor, which I invested in with my barman, so which allows me to go and fetch my child. I'm being a single.
But what I'm saying is you don't need to open till 11 o'clock because the actual Billing Garden Centre is shut by 9.
Well, it's not. I have 24-hour access to Garden Centre because sometimes I draw late at night. I do drawings and all that. So it's pretty much we have free reign when it comes to how late we can come and go. But I would be the latest person leaving. When at 9 o'clock, I need to get home during the week. That's it. So it'll only be trading till 9 p.m. Monday to Thursday. And only on Fridays and Saturdays will I be operating until 11.
So will it be possible that if you stopped your job tattooing at say 5 o'clock, the bar will stay open till 9?
That's correct.
Without you being there?
No, with me being there. But I'm going to have another designated premises supervisor running the bar for me. Because if I'm still busy with a client or sitting, I sometimes sit here and go through drawings with them, what they would like for the next day or whatever the case may be. He has to man the bar and make sure that is under control. And like I said, I did invest in him getting his premises designated premises license. So he is 100% licensed to be behind the bar.
Okay, thank you. Just one other minor thing that I've noticed that you've put down that you'll be possibly having barbecues.
So that isn't,
So can I just say that I understand it. I've been down Billing Garden Centre, that the majority of those buildings down there are wooden.
Oh no, this is far away from the building. It's about 3
I mean, have you put in a fire risk thing to to ascertain?
Councillor York, Councillor York, if I may interrupt, this
Sorry,
is
Chair.
about licensing application, not fire safety and or barbecues.
Surely that would all come into fruition with it, as it's all on the application. But
Councillor, the only thing on the licensing application is for the sale of alcohol. That is the only licensable activity.
Thank you, Michael.
My apologies. Okay, no more from me.
Thank you, Councillor York. All parties now have the opportunity to sum up. So the applicant, I must reiterate, it is a sum up. So in short, obviously you've, in my opinion, you've give a good representation of yourself. So please sum up.
Sum up as in just basically.
No. Yes, exactly that. So just summarise the application for us.
Number one, first and foremost, the maintenance of the licensing objectives. Basically, what I wrote there was I will maintain the promotion of the licensing objectives within my business to serve and protect my community and clients. That would be my first and foremost. And then secondly, with regards to the tattoo license as well as the liquor license, there will be absolutely no cross-contamination from one to the other. I'm 20 years in my industry. I'm extremely educated in my industry, and especially when it comes to the sale of alcohol. Then time will be asking the client, do you have a tattoo book today? If they say no, happily serve. If they say yes, great. Once you've had your tattoo, you can come back and you can have yourself a drink. So it is extremely controlled.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Licensing officer, please sum up. Any summaries?
Nothing further to add, Chair. Just to confirm that the application we received does state Monday to Sunday from 10 till 23 on the application form that we received, but nothing further to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've had sufficient opportunity to say everything that you wish to the subcommittee. Have you had the opportunity to say everything to the subcommittee on your side?
Me on my side.
Yes. Do you feel you've had the opportunity? Have you got all your points across that you want to for the committee?
Yes, I feel I have. I think it was a bit important for a bit of history on who I am and what I've accomplished, and then sorry, I've been so nervous.
No, that's fine. As long as you feel that you've had the opportunity and the time for this application.
Yes,
so
I absolutely appreciate everyone's time for listening.
That's absolutely brilliant. What the objectives are no objectives, so there's absolutely nothing to sum up. And have you had the sufficient opportunity to say everything that you wish to subcommittee? That's it. Okay, so the subcommittee will now retire to make a decision. The decision of the committee will be communicated to all parties in writing within 5 days of this hearing. Details of how to make an appeal against the decision of the subcommittee will also be included.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.